Hello and welcome to another instructional video on loveyourpencil.com. This document you're seeing in this video is available at loveyourpencil.com. Just do a search for parts of speech expert. Alright, now this is the tough one. Now we already took a look at nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, and each one of those is a separate topic and a separate video. And now you're going to really show that you understand what you're talking about, and you can identify and you know the difference between a noun, a verb, and an adjective. And this is actually pretty difficult, and this is what it's about. Let's go right into it. Parts of speech can be confusing. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You got nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And you can read this on your own. But this is what I mean by it's confusing. Take a look at the word train. See, an individual word can oftentimes what I call wear different hats. In other words, it can take different roles. For example, the word train can be a noun. That means a big thing on steel wheels, like the train arrived right on time at the station. Or it can be a verb. That means to show someone else how to do something. So before you start work, we have to train you on the cash register. Or it can be an adjective. Believe it or not, no, don't meet me at the bus station, meet me at the train station. In this case, this word train is functioning as an adjective because it's describing the station. It could be a bus station, it could be a train station. So in this case, it's an adjective. So the word train can be either one of these three parts of speech. And the most important thing is the context. And the word context means what's around that particular word. And the actual truth is that in order to figure out whether or not what part of speech a word is, you need to know the context in which it's used. How is it used? Like take the word paint, P-A-I-N-T. Paint can be a verb, like I'm going to paint my house tomorrow. It can also be a noun, which is the blue stuff that I bought at the store to paint my house blue. So I'm painting with paint. See what I mean? So you've got to know, if you say the word paint and somebody says what part of speech is it, the answer is I don't know yet. How is it used? How is the word paint used? Here's another example. Take the word love. Love can be a noun. I feel love. It can be a verb. That means I love my rabbit. It can be an adjective, like Sheila got her third love letter yesterday. In this case, it's an adjective because she got a letter. Letter is a noun, and the word love is describing what kind of letter. And any word that describes a noun is an adjective. So again, the word love can be any one of these three parts of speech. So in order, like I said, in order to know, if somebody says, well, what part of speech is the word love? You cannot answer it. The answer is it depends. How is it used in the sentence? Alright, so the other complicated thing is that words change their form depending on what part of speech that they're being used. For example, you wouldn't say Steve is anger. You would say Steve is angry, because angry is the adjective form of the noun anger. Like you'll hear this, you'll hear English teachers say this to you. What's the noun form of this? What's the adjective form of that? What's the verb form of this? And this is what it means, okay? So angry is the adjective form of the noun anger. Or you could say that anger is the noun form of the adjective angry. So here are some examples. Many words can be nouns or verbs but don't change their form. Okay, here, take a look at the word plant. You could say, I just saw a very interesting plant. And what that means is a green thing with leaves, most likely. Or you could say, I want to plant a tree tomorrow. So in this case, the noun and the verb are exactly the same form. Or take the word paint, like I said earlier. You could say, I just bought 5 gallons of blue paint. And you could say, I will use it to paint my living room. In this case, paint as a noun and paint as a verb don't change. It's the same form. However, let's take emotions, for example. All emotions are nouns. Guilt, love, desire, fear, all those are all nouns. However, you can have adjective forms of nouns. So here's an example. Guilt was eating away at me after I stole the candy. Now that's the noun form, guilt. It's a noun. But you wouldn't say I felt guilt. You could say I felt guilt, but what you should say is I felt guilty about not calling her back, because guilty is the adjective form of the noun guilt. Or you could say the puppy looked at his owner guiltily. It's a little awkward, but this is grammatically correct after chewing the sofa. Here's another one. This is a good one. Fury. Finally, after enduring 10 minutes of insult, she felt fury rising inside of her. If you feel an emotion inside of you, it's a noun. But you wouldn't say he was fury, you would say he was furious. So furious is the adjective form of the noun fury. And then the adverb form, remember I said in the video about adjectives and adverbs that most adverbs in English end in ly. So you would say he stomped into the house furiously. See what I mean? This is what it means. It changes the form. Fury, furious, furiously. It's a different form of the same emotion. And we're going to continue. Here we go. So let's do a review. What you're going to do, you're going to do this in class. You're going to follow this here. What is a noun? You're going to write a sentence of a noun that's a place. You're going to show that you know what a noun is. And you're going to do the same thing with a verb. Write a sentence with a verb. Write a sentence with a verb that describes something a noun will do, something a noun did. So this is past tense. This is future tense. And then the same thing with an adjective and an adverb. And here's where it gets interesting. This is the challenging part. You're going to do this in class. You're going to identify the parts of speech. And in order to answer this, you have to think about what is the underlying word doing in the sentence. So take the word watch. My sister bought me a new watch for my birthday. Well, that's a thing you put on your wrist, so it's a noun. But if you would say, on Independence Day, we always watch the fireworks from our backyard, in that case, it's a verb. You see? So you've got to read the whole sentence and figure out how is the word being used, and then circle. You're going to circle one of these for each of these. One of these. Suddenly the bomb exploded. How is this word exploded being used? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective or an adverb? And then you just circle the part of speech that represents how it's being used. All right, and you do this for all of these. All of these. You've got to think, how is the word being used in the sentence? And just go through all these, and for each sentence you're only going to circle one of these. One of these. Now some sentences have two words, like this one here has two. So you're going to do this activity for grocery and do this for the word shelves. And like this one, you'll do this one for beautiful and this one for calm. And then you're going to do something similar, but you're going to create. You're going to be asked to create parts of speech. You're going to be asked to create sentences that use the target word as the correct part of speech. And here are some examples you can just look at. It's on your sheet, and you're going to practice it in class and do this at home. You're going to use the word, and here's an example. Use tire as an adjective. I am tired after my long walk. Use tire as a noun. I need to get a new tire for my car. So you see, so here you're going to use the word pick as a verb. So you're going to write a sentence that uses the word pick as a verb. And here is you're going to create a sentence that uses the word pick as a noun. That's what guitar players use sometimes. There's a hint. Patient, glue, all these words, and you're just going to create sentences that use these words as the part of speech that it asks you to use it as. And there's some easier ones, and here's some tougher ones you can take a shot at. These are kind of hard. And just do the best you can. Think about the sentence. Think about how it's being used, and try to use the word as the correct part of speech. And that'll end up this activity. And hopefully this has helped you. I sure hope it has. And I will see you on another video.